Hello and welcome to the Kakasa with the Electronic Fiscal Receipting and Invoicing Solution Efris tutorials. My name is Martha Murungi, a Change Management Officer at URA, and in this video I'll introduce you to Kakasa with Efris, covering what it is, how it works and how to get you started. These tutorials dive into more details of the 4 modules within Efris. These 4 modules are 1. Registration, 2. Stock management, 3. Fiscal document management, and 4. Reports management. Kakasa with Efris is a government-certified smart business solution used to manage the issuance of e-receipts and e-invoices. The government of Uganda has introduced Kakasa with Efris for 2 reasons. 1. Reduce the cost of compliance, and 2. To ease doing of business in Uganda. While using Kakasa with Efris, you can 1. Improve your bookkeeping skills. This means you can ably maintain accurate details of what goes into your business, what is in your inventory, and what goes out of your business. 2. Track and authenticate business transactions in real time. With access to your Efris account, you get details of the total number and value of your receipts raised in the moment or periodically across the week, the month, or annually from your various point of sales and business premises without you having to be physically present there. 3. Fast-track processing of your refunds claims using e-invoices and e-receipts. Given that the business transactions are available in the system, this does away with the time spent on stamping the physical paper invoices and you chasing your supplier to declare their sale in their tax returns. 4. Eliminate the risk of losing physical tax invoices, since the business transactions are now digitally stored. This reduces the costs of storing bulky files and exposing them to damage from fire, theft, misplacement, and so on. And 5. You can ably obtain pre-filled tax returns from URA in the future, which minimizes the delays and costs associated with tax return filing. You can generate your e-invoices and e-receipts using the following 3 components. Component number 1 is e-invoicing. Under e-invoicing, you have 4 options to connect your business to the URA Efris server. Option number 1 is system to system, and you connect your business invoicing system to the URA Efris server using an API. Option number 2 is using the e-invoicing link on the URA portal. Option number 3 is having the Efris client application installed on your desktop or mobile device. And option number 4 is using the USSD shortcode for non-smart devices. Component number 2 is the electronic fiscal device. The electronic fiscal device is attached to your point of sale, and your point of sale could be your cash register, your cash till, or mobile device. The EFD has the Efris pre-installed or embedded onto it, and it works in both the online and offline mode. Component number 3 is the electronic dispenser controller. The electronic dispenser controller is used to manage business in the fuel retail sector. In the e-invoicing, once you have connected your business using any of the 4 mentioned options, when a client walks to your business counter, go ahead and capture the transaction details. These include the TIN, quantity and price of what is being purchased. Please note that when it's a business-to-business transaction or business-to-diplomat transaction, the TIN is a mandatory field to capture, whereas if it's a business-to-consumer transaction, this is optional. The captured details are then encrypted and transmitted to the URA Efris server in real time. Upon receipt of these captured details, the Efris server will decrypt and format the transaction details into acceptable data format. This includes adding key features such as the e-invoice or e-receipt number, the verification code, the anti-fake code, and data matrix codes, commonly known as the QR code. The formatted data is encrypted again and sent to your point of sale. The Efris server shall send a copy of this data to the buyer's email address, and you can find these details in your sales report within your account. This process is quick and shall not affect your queue management. At this point of time, you can also go ahead and print off the e-invoice or receipt if you so wish to. The EFD is attached to your point of sale, which could be a cash register, a till, or mobile device. The EFD has the EFIS solution pre-installed or embedded on it, and it works in two modes. One, the online mode, and two, the offline mode. In the online mode, the captured details are encrypted and transmitted to the URS server in real time. The URS server receives these details and decrypts them, formats them into the acceptable data format, encrypts them again, and sends them back to your selling point. It also sends a copy of this data to the buyer's email address. At this point of time, you can also go ahead and print off the e-invoice or receipt if you so wish to. In the offline mode, as you capture these transaction details, the EFIS solution pre-installed on the EFD shall encrypt, decrypt, and format this into the acceptable data. This data is then sent back to your point of sale for you to be able to print off the e-invoice or a receipt. Once internet connectivity is regained, the EFD uploads this data onto the EFIS server. The EFIS server then sends a copy of the formatted data to the buyer's email address. Finally, generating e-invoices and e-receipts using the electronic dispenser controller, commonly known as the EDC, for those in the fuel business. Start with connecting a fuel dispensing system to the EFIS server using either the EFD or any of the four options of e-invoicing. The EDC is then installed on either your fuel pump or underground fuel tank, and it relays information such as the volumes of fuel dispensed to both the EFD or e-invoicing option, and the process of encrypting, decrypting, formatting the data, and sending it to the buyer's account and your point of sale is done as previously mentioned.